Almost everyone in this show pisses me off. From my screen to yours, hi, my name is Sammy, and today I'm here to review the final season of the long-awaited Squid Game. It is finally out on Netflix, and let's talk about whether they stuck the landing. Before I talk about this season, I just want to briefly share my thoughts on the first two seasons, so I'll put timestamps below if you just want to hear what I thought about this current season that just came out. Starting with season 1, I remember I binged it all in one go one day, and I would say I enjoyed it, but the ending kind of left like a bad taste in my mouth because obviously spoilers if you haven't seen the first season. One, I didn't like that the old man was the main villain because that marble episode, I remember, had me like sobbing and stuff. And then I feel like that reveal just ruined the memory of me watching that episode and the emotions that I felt during it. And then the other thing that I probably dislike more is the main character Gihun and him deciding to go back. I just think, like, I get it, the show wants a way to continue, but I just thought it made no sense. Like, it's so illogical. Honestly, what do you think you can do? Like, you're one man against this clearly well-functioning and obviously well-funded system. Season 2, which just came out, I forget if it's earlier this year or last year. I remember it started off kind of slow, or like I didn't really care because they were just like starting the games again. But the best element is definitely, again, spoilers, definitely the fact that the frontman participates and pretends to be like a regular player because you as the audience knows that he's the big bad, pretending to be on their side and stuff until the last episode, which is like the most exciting episode of the entire season. That's definitely the most interesting part of the show. I thought like them playing the games was kind of just the same as always, and then the new cast of characters, like, I feel like it's always the same. Like, you get people that are super annoying and then you get people that are like kind of nice. I also didn't like all those scenes when Gihun was trying to persuade everybody to, okay, this is probably just like my cynical opinion, but I was just like, you cannot persuade these people. But obviously he's literally playing them again to try and do that. But I was just like, this is pointless. These are desperate people and human nature. Now, season 3, which I just finished last night, I was mainly curious what they would do with Gihun. I didn't necessarily have specific predictions, but I was curious what they would do with his character, if he died, like how, and then also what about his mission to try and end these games, if that would succeed or if anything would even happen with that. I don't know if I was really that excited, honestly. This is the spoiler-free section, but I will be talking about spoilers later on, which again, I will have it timestamped down below. I think in season 1, Gihun is a protagonist that you can root for and you want to see him succeed in the games and stuff, and not necessarily that, well, actually, I don't know if I really want him to succeed that much, but I just feel like in these later seasons, he's just like not that interesting. I don't know if he was ever that interesting, honestly, because he's just too morally upstanding most of the time. Generally, he's like trying to help as much people as he can, and I just think that's not that interesting. Like, I wish there were more morally gray characters or morally gray protagonists. I think those, personally at least, those are the most interesting to follow and watch. I knew it most likely wasn't gonna happen, but I was kind of hoping that he would have like a villain arc and he would just turn bad and it's his like villain origin story. That would have been more interesting, but maybe that's just what I want. I will kind of talk a bit more about this point in the spoilers though. You already know it's like all the same characters as season 2. Most of them are super annoying and you just want to see them get as soon as possible. And then there's like the handful of like nice people. My boyfriend who was watching with me was saying that he didn't like how a lot of the characters are really one-dimensional and they're kind of just known for like one thing. They aren't that fleshed out, which I understand because there's so many players and you can't really give them much. Also, they're probably gonna die anyway, so it's like kind of whatever. In terms of comparing it to other seasons, I do think this is probably the most brutal season. I mean, obviously they're all super violent, but there's like one game in this season in particular that's especially violent, which I thought was interesting. I also think the reason that they chose this game, or like the frontman chose this game, made sense. I thought the pacing was okay. I don't think I was ever bored necessarily. Season 2 was definitely more boring, especially near the start, but I thought it was like all right, besides the boat storyline, which I feel like everyone hates that storyline because it's just like so dull. But yeah, the boat storyline doesn't really improve in this season. In the beginning, they kind of intercut between scenes of the players playing the game and then the boat crew finding the island. Every time it would cut back to the boat, it just really killed the momentum and like the tension that the game scenes were building, because then all of a sudden it would cut and you're just like on a boat and no one cares. I didn't really care as much about this season. This time, most of the time, I was just like, cool, this player just is dying, like, okay. It's just entertaining for 6 episodes. It's a quick watch, which is good. Technically, I feel like the quality of all 3, in my opinion, the same. The sets for the different games look nice. One CGI effect, which if you've seen it, you probably know what I'm talking about, but it looks weird. Like, it like stands out and it looks really strange and it really took me out. Overall, did it stick the landing? I don't think it will ever be as good as the first season, especially because that was so hyped. I'd say with the ending itself, I'm satisfied with how it concluded. I am more satisfied with how this ended than how season 1 ended. I'm pretty sure they'll probably make some sort of like spin-off or some other thing, because it does kind of leave it open-ended, and not open-ended, but like in a way that would allow for spin-offs or more shows in the future. But if I never watched any Squid Games content again, I would be okay with that, with how this ended. Now into the spoiler section of season 3. I'm just gonna talk about like random points, I guess. I didn't hate all the characters. My favorite character is definitely the frontman because he's just the most interesting, and they kind of give you a glimpse of what he was like before, which is intriguing because I'd be curious to know how he became who he is today as the frontman. I also think other storyline with the number 11 staff member, the North Korean defector, and the dad player. I thought that whole storyline was pretty interesting. It was more action heavy, and I think his name's Youngi, but anyways, the guy that Im Siwan plays, I don't necessarily like him because he does some like shady stuff, but I thought he was probably one of the most interesting players because he was actually morally gray, and I feel like you couldn't really tell if he was being genuine and being good or if he was actually being bad. Although at the end, it was kind of sudden, like that he just suddenly was like down to kill his baby. It was like, I thought you were like kind of good, but I don't know, it just felt kind of random. Like, it didn't seem like he was pretending to be nice earlier, but he's like actually wanting to take all the money himself. It just seems like he was like kind of turning good, and then all of a sudden he's like, actually care about my baby. Talking about the main character, Gihun, he doesn't develop like at all. He's still the same morally like upstanding person, which is like great for you and all, but I was thinking while watching that I really wanted like an Anakin to Darth Vader storyline, which I'm literally looking at my Star Wars poster right now. I just think that would be so much more interesting. Like, I wanted him to go crazy and go bad, but I guess that's kind of what happened with the frontman, because it seems like he was in the same position and he was a good person back then, and the two of them made a different choice, and one turned into the frontman and one's dead. So that's why the frontman is more interesting, because this is what could have happened. The boat storyline, because we have to complain about that a bit. Well, first of all, it's so boring, but I don't know if they like shot this at the same time, or because I remember everyone was complaining about how the boat storyline, like nothing happened, and then at the end of this show I was literally like, wait, did anything even happen with that boat storyline? They found the island and then it blew up. do we even accomplish anything? Like, I genuinely don't know if anything came out of that storyline. Am I missing something, or did nothing happen? The scene when the front man takes off his mask and reveals who he is to Gihun. I mean, I don't know what exactly I would have wanted from that scene, but I felt like it was a little anticlimactic. Like, he's revealing that the person you've been going up against is someone that you trusted earlier, and that humans are horrible. I guess the conclusion of that is that he's still gonna stick to his morals and not kill the other people in their sleep. Kind of wish this scene had more emotional impact in some way, but it was kind of just like, oh, okay. Another complaint, the spoiler section is just like complaints. The VIPs. We've already seen the VIPs in season 1, and I don't know if they're like trying to be camp or honestly what the reasoning was behind everything about the VIPs, even back in season 1 and now. Like, why are they so cringe? Is it because they're trying to make fun of that rich people would do this? But I don't know if it's supposed to be campy. Like, why is it campy if it is? I don't know, because I feel like people would do that in real life and it's not funny, and it just takes me out. Like, every time they talk, it's just like the tension of these games. Like, I'm supposed to be feeling this tension or whatever, and then suddenly these VIPs are just talking. They're from a totally different unserious show. The dialogue is so bad and the delivery is laughable. No offense, but especially the Asian woman VIP. I feel like this show would be so much better if we either didn't see the VIPs or they don't speak. Honestly, it's unnecessary. And also in this season, they have so many scenes. They be talking like a lot, and I don't think they contribute anything except that, haha, like, I really enjoy watching these people suffer and I like to bet on them and stuff, but it delivered in the worst way. I don't think we needed them. On the actual ending, I guess it makes sense that the baby is the one that won. I liked that Gihun died. I'm also glad that he didn't actually really do anything to destroy this system. Did he even do like anything? He just died. I don't know, maybe what he said kind of sparked something in the front man, makes him kind of change his perspective a little, but also I don't know if that really happened. I haven't seen that much about what other people's opinions are, but I would be really curious to hear about what you think of this season. And if you like this kind of survival, playing games to survive and you can't escape premise, then I would recommend you watch Alice in Borderland. That is on Netflix, and I think the final season is coming out in the fall of this year, so it'd be a good time to start binging that. I prefer Alice in Borderland over Squid Games because Squid Games, they play more simple, childish games. They're literally games for kids turned violent, but Alice in Borderland is more complex, very complex games. They really have to use their brain to survive. If I was playing those games, I would have died like a long time ago, because sometimes I don't even understand how the game works, but I find that more interesting, seeing how they survive. So if that sounds interesting, I definitely recommend checking that out. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this rambling review. If you enjoy watching K-dramas or C-dramas, subscribe, as I will be posting more reviews and other related content.